Hey guys, so we talked about Pythagorean theorem in class, and we also learned how to know whether something is a Pythagorean triangle, a right triangle, acute triangle, or obtuse triangle. But we haven't done problems or where the numbers, the a or the b or the c, where actually happen to also be radicals. So here's a problem where it's a right triangle and we have to find out the missing side. So I wanted to remind you on how you would actually square a number like this. So again, it doesn't matter if you call this a or b. I'll call it a. So it's a squared plus, and then b squared is 3 root 2 squared is equal to 12 squared. I'm just going to write 144, which is 12 squared. Now, when you have a monomial, you can actually distribute the squared to both parts. So the 3 squared is 9, and then root 2 squared is just 2. So 9 times 2, which gets you 18. So a squared plus 18 equals 144. Subtract 18 on both sides, you get a squared equals 126. And then you have to take the square root of both sides. Now, when you do that, we do want to get an exact answer. So square root of 126 might be able to be simplified. So you're thinking, the perfect squares, 4, 16, 36. So I'm going to go ahead and try 126 divided by 4. And that doesn't come out evenly. So I'm going to try 126 divided by 9. And that's 14. So 126 is the same thing as root 9 times root 14. So right there you get simplified. Side A is 3 root 14 units. And then you could also use the calculator to get an exact answer. Here's another example, same kind of concept, but you could also remember, before you square something, if you want, you could simplify things. Root 8 is the same thing as root 2 times root 4. So 3 times 2 is 6 root 2. So I could change 3 root 8 to 6 root 2. And 2 root 5 squared. And then we don't know this side, so we're going to leave it as c squared. Distribute the square to both things, so 2 times 2 and root 5. And then remember, it's a multiplication problem, so you still have to multiply them. So you get 4 times 5. Here you get 36 times 4. So 36 times 4 is 144. Combine. And then square root both sides to find out what c is. Now here, you remember, you have to go ahead and see, can 164 be simplified? So you could try 36. You can try 4. And 4, root 164 is root 4 times root 41. So our final answer, our exact answer for C, is 2 root 41. So now we have the last one, and it is a ratio problem. So here what we're going to say is we have a right triangle, and the ratio of A to B is 2 to 3. So we talked about in class, that means you could label one as 2x. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go to the side that I think is the bigger side, is 3x. Okay. And C is over here. Now remember, if this is 2x and this is 3x, we still have to square them. So we're still going to say a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So that's you do get a lot of students that forget to actually square these. And when you square 2x, remember you're squaring both the 2 and the x. So combine. divide by 13, and I don't think that 40,000 is going to divide evenly by 13, but we're going to see. It does not, so we can leave it as but remember, we have to square root both sides to find out what x is. And we talked about in class, remember that if you square 40,000, I don't think 40,000, there's no number. Remember right here, you know that 200 squared is 40,000. So when we square root both sides, we're going to end up back at x equals 200 over root 13. Because remember, you square root both the numerator and the denominator. And then we're going to rationalize the denominator and get x equals 200 root 13 over 13, which cannot be simplified.